Hey everyone, it's Lucy from the Let's Do This team here. Today I'm going to talk to you about some new data that we have available in Nova, and that is data on your Meta ads. So for those of you who have been using Nova for a while, you'll know that when we launched Nova, we gave it the ability to analyze data on your registrations, your revenue, and participant demographics. However, our ambition for Nova is that it can act as your expert teammate and help you spot opportunities to grow your events and also execute on those opportunities. And so we thought a key kind of piece of data that we should bring in next is data on various marketing efforts. We spoke to a bunch of expert marketers in the events industry, and they told us that Meta ads are essentially like the Swiss Army knife of digital marketing. And they're a pretty key thing to be across if you're trying to grow your events. So we thought it would be a sensible next step to give Nova the ability to analyze data on your Meta ads campaigns. So if you want to do this, really there is a small step required, which involves sharing your Meta ad data with Let's Do This, which is very simple and straightforward. And following that, you can ask Nova any question on your Meta ad campaigns just by typing in the chat box here that we are all familiar with. In addition to that, you will be able to see insights on your Meta ad campaigns alongside the existing insight cards we have on the homepage. So we've got an example of one of those insights here. And you can see this one says, your retargeting campaign has an 8.4x return on ad spend versus 2.1x for your prospecting campaign, but has less budget allocated. And as with all AI Insights cards, you can click on the CTA to learn more. So I'm going to do that right now. And the chat will pop up with Nova where we can just learn more information on this particular insight. So indeed, we can say, just as the insight card suggested, that this retargeting campaign does have a higher return on ad spend, but a lower budget per day compared to the prospecting campaign. The budget is $150 per day for retargeting and $350 per day for prospecting. And Nova has identified that it seems like this may not be the best use of budget, given that we're spending less on the campaign that has a much higher return on ad spend. And so Nova is saying now that it can propose a simple budget optimization that could increase registrations on the retargeting campaign. I'm going to go ahead and explore that budget optimization, and Nova will then do a whole bunch of additional number crunching in the background and come up with a proposal. And in this particular proposal, it's saying let's move $150 per day of budget from prospecting to retargeting. It's telling us, based on like the whole heap of knowledge it has on digital marketing, that despite having a very low return on ad spend, we should keep the brand awareness campaign as is, since it's doing a really important job at building reach for future campaigns. And it then is telling us that, with this shift of $150 per day of budget from prospecting to retargeting, it expects we could bring in an additional 30 to 50 conversions per day. And if we make this change, it will do all the work to monitor that these projections are correct, as well as make sure we still, don't kind of hit any guardrail metrics that the event organizer may have put in place. So in this example, that's keep cost per acquisition under $12. Now, in the future, our hope is that you can manage your Meta campaigns too within the Nova interface. We know it's like a bit frustrating and confusing going through and operating all these different tools and systems at the moment. And the amazing thing about AI is that you can pretty much execute any action you want from a single button push or a single prompt. And that's what we hope we can do with Nova. So that means in the future, you'll be able to easily say to Nova, yes, I want to reallocate the budget of my Meta campaigns as you've suggested above. And you'll be able to do that with the click of a button, just like I'm doing now. once this functionality is put in place in the near future, Nova will come back and say, okay, I've updated that new budget for you, and I'll keep an eye on performance changes over the next week and kind of come back with any additional information you may be curious about. Now, what I've just walked through then is just one use case of how you can use this analysis of meta ad campaigns to help ensure you're growing your events in the most efficient and optimal way. There are so many different data points and metrics we can get from these meta ad campaigns, and I would encourage you all to just try it out and see the power of Nova analyzing this meta ad data for yourself. Thanks a lot. Bye.